from the Target Center in downtown Minneapolis. Thanks for joining us for the continuing state tournament coverage from the mighty 920 KDHL. I'm Brad Presteman with Roy Koenig, and the 8 p.m. game tonight is here at Target Center in a matchup between the Lake City Tigers and the Vikings from Pelican Rapids. The Vikings bring a 24-5 record into the tournament, and so do the Tigers, likewise bring a 24-5 record in. Pelican Rapids earned its state tournament spot by beating Perham, East Grand Forks, and Park Rapids. And Lake City defeated Albert Lee, Pine Island, Zumbrota, Mazeppa, and then Cannon Falls, and in an 80-56 win in the section final, and against a team, Cannon Falls, that had beaten Lake City previously. Lake City's led by seniors Hunter Lawrenson at 18 points a game, and Ryan Keegan, who averages 16 points per game, but also averages 9 rebounds per game. Pelican Rapids will obviously be looking to stop those two. And for Lake City, they'll be trying to get a handle on Timothy Guler, who leads Pelican Rapids at 16 points a game. And he's also scored 1,000 points in his career despite missing 2 total seasons with injuries. So that's a lot of scoring in two years of high school action. So big-time player there to watch for Lake City. The winner of this game will play Albany. Albany was the state champion last year, and that will be an 8 o'clock game on Friday, and that'll be over at Williams Arena, as will all the games on Friday and Saturday. And that was quite a game that Roy and I just watched, as Albany came from way behind to come up with a big victory. They were 15 points down at 43-28 in the first half, and came back to beat Jackson County Central. Listen to this, by an 87-68 score, as they just came storming back. Zeke Austin had 33 points in that game for Albany. Breck beat Waseca in the other game at 6 o'clock. That went over at Williams Arena. And so that will mean that Breck will move on, and Albany will move on. Also another game being played tonight right over at Target Center at the same time as this one, and that'll be Minnehaha Academy against Pequot Lakes. And so lots of action, single A action going on tonight. And that was quite a comeback we saw for Albany.
Yeah, to be down 15 points like they were, and they just came out with their hair on fire in the second half and scored how many points? I think they scored 50. They scored 50-something points in the second half alone. 54 points in the second half. Not only that, but they held their opponent to just 20 to turn a 15-point deficit into a lopsided win for Albany. Their title defense is still alive.
It was one of the strangest and biggest comebacks in such resounding fashion that I can recall seeing. In fact, Roy, I was writing notes here for this opening, and I had written down Jackson County Central beat defending champion Albany because they were so far behind. And so a big win for Albany, and that is who the winner of this game will take on.
Yeah, that full day of basketball. This is the 6th game on this court. A 6th game is getting underway with Minnehaha Academy, and their opponent is Pequot Lakes, right?
Yeah.
Over in the other game in Class AA, and so what a crazy wild day of basketball. We were here for that first one this morning over at Williams Arena, where Stewartville gave Totino Grace, a defending champion, all they could handle. And Totino Grace came out of it, but boy, oh boy, Stewartville had upset on their mind, and they almost pulled it off.
Yeah, they had it in their hands, and then went into a scoring drought in the last 8.5 minutes or so, scored 6 points. And that was tough, and still kept that game closer than the score looked, because they had to foul at the end and gave up some free throws that way. But yeah, that game was there for Stewartville, and just couldn't get the shots to go down.
As you mentioned, Albany is still going, and thanks to their come from behind. And I think it's pretty fascinating that the defending champion is back in every field with Wayzata, Totino Grace, Albany, and Russell Tyler Ruthven. Russell Tyler Ruthven has to play the number 1 seed, so even though RTR is a defending champion in Class A, they'll face number 1 seed Cherry tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And Cherry is pretty happy to have kind of the pressure on them of being the number 1 seed because they've been the underdog a lot of the time.
Okay.
So Cherry with the future Gopher Asuma is coming in with the number 1 seed to play the defending champs tomorrow morning.
Well, that'll be great.
Yeah. A lot of good stories here.
Yeah, lots of good games today, close games, and then a couple that were not so good, that were kind of blowouts and that sort of thing. Why don't we take a 1-minute break, and we'll go back to the station, and we'll be right back.
You said it last year, but you didn't do it. Now you're thinking again, I gotta find someone to take care of my books. And it's never too late. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service can do that to ensure next year's tax time is much less stressful. From farming to small businesses, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services will customize a plan that best fits your needs. Just think, you can have an expert take care of your day-to-day and month-to-month accounting tasks, freeing you up to do what you do best, run your business. They even work with individuals. See what they can do for you. Call Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services today, 451-3399.
H&R Block offices in Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville remind you now is the time to get your paperwork in order for tax season. Book your appointment at one of the offices where in-person or drop-off filing is available. No computer program can ask every single possible tax question. The tax professionals in Lakeville, Faribault, and Owatonna average 10 years experience, and you can request the same preparer every year. File your way at H&R Block offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
Back at Target Center here, and got a big game coming up here between Lake City and Pelican Rapids. The winner, as we have discussed, will take on Albany, a team that just exploded in the second half of their game just a few minutes ago. We're only just a few minutes away from starting this basketball game as the introductions are happening. They introduce all of the players and the managers and everybody at the state tournament, and then they go into the starters from there.
Both of these schools have won state championships over the years, so they both have that to their credit. The Randy Brewer years at Lake City, 78-79, a championship in 90 as well. I was actually reading Gordy's recap a year ago when it was the 75th year of KDHL Radio covering the state boys basketball tournament, and his write-up at KDHLradio.com. And Gordy made comments about Lake City, and that 1990 championship, they won on like a last-second shot that rolled around and around the rim. Lake City did before capturing the title in 1990. And then Pelican Rapids in 1984 and in 2009, they've been state champions.
Yeah, some good pedigrees here then. And lots of good players have come out of Lake City. Randy Brewer, obviously a great gopher. Jersey retired, I noticed this morning at Williams Arena, and a professional player as well. There's a player down at Northern Iowa right now from Lake City. Nate Heisey is one of their best players, and I kind of follow Northern Iowa a little bit. He's a really good player. And there have been other good players recently out of Lake City, and it's becoming a little bit of a basketball power down there.
You follow Northern Iowa a lot.
I do.
More than a little.
I'm from Iowa, and so I follow Iowa State, which is by far the best team since I graduated from there. But and Iowa, and then Drake and University of Northern Iowa, and I do follow them. And Nate Heisey is fun to watch, and he's got a good team. So the starters being actually the reserves being announced here for.
So last season, Albany ended up winning the title for the very first time. And Albany, as we talked about, just rallied from behind in that previous game. They beat Minnehaha Academy in the final. Minnehaha Academy is playing right now over at Williams Arena. So those are a couple of teams that are back in the field from last season. And then Pequot Lakes, who Minnehaha Academy is playing right now, also is back from last year's field. They were the consolation champion. But otherwise, it's kind of some new blood. Not that these teams haven't been to state recently. Waseca, for instance, was a state champion a couple of seasons ago. Breck School is back this year at state. They missed last year. Jackson County Central, who just pushed Albany. And then in this game, Pelican Rapids and Lake City, while they both have nice pedigrees, they are new to the field this year compared to last year. There's a couple of the tournaments this year where like 5 or 6 teams are back, but for Class AA, only 3 teams returned from 2023.
I was watching the players on this team when they went out to warm up, and you could see several of them just kind of taking in Target Center, kind of looking around, and it's a big stage, and it's got to be just a heck of a lot of fun, but also a little intimidating perhaps. And one of the things that happens as opposed to a high school gym, when you play in these big gyms, you're used to having the wall back behind the basket pretty close in most high school gyms, and here you've just got air behind it. And especially here, it's just a long ways back, even compared to Williams Arena. And so it's a little bit different. Sometimes it takes a minute or two to kind of get settled down as to how to shoot at that hoop when there's just air back behind it all the time. And just it does present a little bit different of a shot box, if you want to.
Yeah, and I know some teams will take an opportunity. I don't know how often you get the chance to play basketball during the regular season, but teams once in a while play here. But I don't know. I suppose then it gets you in the atmosphere and probably helps out a little bit. But it seems like those chances are few and far between that I'm aware of anyway of teams playing up here. Owatonna did a few years ago in a regular season game. I know Blooming Prairie a couple, 3 years ago. Maybe it's even longer than that. But Blooming Prairie played a game up here one day. So I know of teams around our area in southern Minnesota that'll do that and get a little taste for being here in Target Center. But still, to be here during state tournament is a little bit different.
Yeah, it is. And but what a thrill it has to be. The other thing is that the court is a different size.
Yeah.
And so the court is, I don't remember the dimensions, but it's about 10 feet longer, I believe, on the professional court, maybe 15. The college court is bigger, too, over at Williams Arena. Well, the tap has been made, and basketball's underway. Lake City with the basketball. Here's Lawrenson. He'll give it off to Lawrenson. Hunter and Gavin. Hunter with it right now. Sends it into the corner for Shones. And a foul called, I believe, down near the baseline. And it was. We'll see.
Jack Welch.
Foul's on Jack Welch, number 30, and the inbound's already happening. The shot up and no good for Ryan, and back down they come. First possession here for Pelican Rapids, and it's a situation where, what happened there? Stepped out of bounds. And
I think it was a foul called.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I thought it was a foul, but then there's a foul on the board on Lake City.
Yeah, okay.
On Gavin Lawrenson. Gavin called on the foul, the freshman.
So Pelican Rapids, their first possession. 20 seconds on the shot clock. And it was 35-second shot clock, first year in high school basketball. And the turnaround shot for Torres is good. 2-0 Pelican Rapids, first on the board. Just underway, 16:57, a little over a minute into this game. Lawrenson. Hunter goes flying down, and foul called again as he tries to get the ball down deep to the block. Looking for Ryan down there.
Ball is on number 15, Timmy Guler.
So Guler, their main player, big average scoring for him, 16 points a game. The player you were talking about that missed time yet still hit 1,000 points. He gets called on the foul.
Ryan takes it from deep and loses it. A turnover for Lake City. Down court quickly, and the reverse layup no good on the break for Pelican Rapids, and they will step out of bounds with it. It'll be a turnover now on Pelican Rapids. Little ragged here so far, Roy, and
he was right there at the hoop. There at the hoop. It was behind all the defense, just didn't finish at the hoop. So maybe some of those, little bit of nerves, little bit of jitters. You got to be feeling it. The players have to be.
We tried the reverse layup, and really wasn't any reason for that. He had it wide open as it was. Fick with the shot and the score from the right block for Lake City. Pelican Rapids driving on it. Back out high for Torres. Torres again, left side, working there on Lawrenson, Hunter, and the shot's blocked away, but a travel first. A turnover again on Pelican Rapids, and the team's just having a little bit of trouble hanging onto the ball right now.
Yeah, a couple of minutes in, 2-2. We've seen a couple of games that were real slow starting scoring-wise. Combination of defense and some nerves can come into play as well, but low scoring to start.
Hunter Lawrenson with it. Guarded by Pelican Rapids in a man-to-man defense. Tries to get down low. Charlie Larson tries to kick it away. Excuse me, that's Guler. He'll bring it down court. Little jump stop into the lane. Puts it up and good over the rim from about 5 feet away in front. Cash with it. Excuse me. Ryan now inside for Fick, and he'll dribble across the lane, kick it out, and an in and out play. Driving now, and back now to Lawrenson. He'll take it back out to the timeline and reset. He'll stop, shoot a three-point shot, has it blocked right back to him in the layup, and no good, missed it. Rebound for Pelican Rapids as Larson picked it up. And a foul at midcourt. That'll go against Ryan. One of those two leading scorers for Lake City, averages 16. Also a big-time rebounder, averages 9. And Guler will inbound for Pelican Rapids as a couple of subs come in.
Now checking in number 2,
Trayvon Benson.
Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service.
Absolutely.
So those substitutes of the game, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service, they'll get your books taken care of at Ackerman.
Running the circle now at the three-point line. Guler with it, guarded by Schoens out there. Benson looking over Lawrenson, gives it away, now almost loses it. Into the corner it goes, trying to get a shot, whirls down the baseline, and that's Guler back out high for the three-point shot, no good from Larson, and ripped out of there by Fick.
Nice job by Guler with so many players collapsing on him to find an open player, although a hand in the face by the time the shot was taken.
Pelican Rapids with a 4-2 lead. And a shot from Lake City, no good. And a putback is good. And it's a 4-4 tie. 13:58 to go in the first half. Driving down the lane, now into the corner for Benson for Pelican Rapids. Brings it down, blocked away there by Ryan. Picked up by Lawrenson. Down the backcourt quickly. And there's Fick, hands it off now for Hunter Lawrenson. And he will try to go from left to right down the lane, and he'll be fouled.
We saw something on a previous play where a player was driving down low just now, and a player for Lake City, or a player for Pelican Rapids tried to take a charge. He hit the deck, no call either way. We saw that in the game earlier today, too, that a lot of body contact. Someone goes flying through the air as if to take a charge, and there's no call either way.
Right, exactly. Second foul on Fick for Lake City. He's got all 4 points for them at this point. Shooting at the line is Keegan Ryan. Ryan, good basketball player, but is a Division I football recruit at the University of North Dakota. So he's got a lot of sports ahead of him yet in his college years. Made the first one, second one up and good also. 6-4 now. Lake City with the lead. Charlie Larson back across to Benson. Will bring it up and try to enter the lane. He gets down to the elbow, throws it back out. Now back to him from Larson. Man-to-man defense for Lake City. Guler works in the lane, at the free throw line. No good, and the rebound skying up there for it was Keegan Ryan. Lake City in the orange uniforms, black stripes around the waist, and white numbers. Both these teams, orange and black colors, Roy, and that's something you might not see every day.
Say similar colors for their school colors?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Exact, yeah.
Yeah, technically orange and black and orange if the order means anything different, but on their official program they do have the same colors.
Pelican Rapids with white uniforms, orange stripe down the side, a little black trim in there, 2 black numbers. Coming towards us now, Pelican Rapids basketball. Guler works, gets down the lane, shot up, bounces around on the rim, and comes back off, and Wohlers with the rebound for Lake City. Just a little token backcourt man-to-man pressure for Pelican Rapids. Wohlers, this side, Ryan hits a driving and a cutting player, and the shot up and good. That was Lawrenson, and Hunter with his first basket. And Torres now back in. Gives it off out high for Goulers. They try to clear some space. And a cut and a great play and a reverse layup for Grady Larson, and a great pass in there from Brody Sutter. Lake City basketball. Out high it goes. Lawrenson has it picked away as he tried to give it to Ryan. A driving layup for Pelican Rapids is no good, and Larson misses it, and Ryan with the rebound for Lake City. And they're at work again on their end of the court, far end of the court for us. We're located kind of in the corner here down low at Target Center. No good on the shot from Schoens, and the rebound taken by Torres. And now Pelican Rapids will go to work again. Jumping into the lane is Schoens. Now dishes back out for Torres. He spins at the free throw line, puts up a 14-footer, and scores it from the left elbow. 8-8 our score, 11 minutes to go.
On that previous play, the turnover, the defense was the transition coming back to chase the guy with the ball, and then he missed the little layup, but that's because the players for Lake City didn't give up even though they turned over the ball.
Ball's thrown away, picked up by Pelican Rapids. Turnover on Lake City, and NBA level 3 goes up and is no good for Torres, and the rebound ripped out of there by Lake City. Schoens with it. He'll walk it across the timeline. Working left to right now. Back in, onto the left side it goes. McElmurray is in the game for Lake City. Schoens with it now. Turns, drives the lane, and gives it off for Ryan. Nice play as he drew the defender back up off of Keegan Ryan and then left him open with a man loosely guarding him, and Ryan is going to score in those conditions. Pelican Rapids backing it out, 22 on their shot clock. 10 minutes to go in the game. Fence it in. Here's Torres. Dribble to the baseline, and then he'll throw it back out. Grady Larson. Here's Guler. Turnaround shot, and he made it. Turnaround fadeaway from about 16 feet away. Right over the top of Alec McElmurray.
It was announced as a 3, but I think it was a 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 2.
Yeah, it was 2. Okay.
Yeah. At least I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, they scored it as a 2.
Yeah, the scoreboard looks like a 2 as well, but just a matter of who made a slight error.
Hunter Lawrenson spins in the lane and scores it from 12 feet out for Lake City. 12-10 game now for the Tigers. Torres here working and throws it away. No pick back up, but now stolen away by Ryan. And boy, he doesn't take him very many steps to get down the court, but then he misses the attempt at the slam dunk. Rebound down to Pelican Rapids. Sometimes you kind of just wish he just lay it in. It's stolen away, knocked out of there, and picked up by Ryan. They give it off for Hunter Lawrenson. He'll take it, drive into the lane, and then he'll Kick it back out. 3-point shot up and no good. Rebound down for Pelican Rapids as Welch got it. And a timeout called on the court. 12-10, 8:28 to go in the first half. Lake City with a 2-point lead.
Timeouts.
Take a break? Yeah.
All right. We'll take a break here for a minute. We'll be right back.
Back in the 1920s, when an entrepreneur came to town to seek their dream, they needed 3 things: a place to stay, a knowledgeable banker, and an account with First United Bank. Today, First United Bank in Faribault and Owatonna is still helping young people who are starting out. First United Bank has grown to the size it is today by giving sound financial advice and personal service to its customers for over 100 years. That's why First United Bank is important for young families today. At First United Bank, they didn't invent personal service, they just never forgot it. Member FDIC.
Every part counts at Amesbury Truth, and the most important one is the part you'll play when you join their team. As the leading provider of window and door products in North America, Amesbury Truth has a part for you. Right now, they're hiring, and those positions come with competitive wages, benefits, and plenty of opportunities too. So you never stop growing. Isn't it time you open the door to a career at Amesbury Truth? Get details and apply online at amesburytruth.com/careers.
Brad and Roy with you as we are back at Target Center. It's the 76th year of state tournament high school basketball coverage for the mighty 920 KDHL, and we're Roy and Brad here, happy to be with you. Quite a thrill, actually, and it's just a lot of fun to hang out and watch a lot of basketball.
Yeah, great tradition that KDHL radio has developed over the years. Absolutely amazing.
Guler dishes it to Larson in the corner, tries to throw it back in the middle for Charlie Larson, and a foul is committed. Foul is on Keegan Ryan. I think that's his second foul.
It is.
For Lake City, so that's a big one.
Number 20 checking in, Jaden Jones for Ryan.
Minnehaha Academy in Pequot Lakes is 18-12. Minnehaha Academy on top.
That game taking place over at Williams Arena. And shot blocked as Fick, I think, went up and blocked Welch's shot. Inbound coming for Pelican Rapids on their own end. There's the ball coming in, driving into the lane, off that, and the shot up no good. Rebound ripped down by Fick for Lake City. Luke Narum in the game. He was an important player in that section win over Cannon Falls. And now they find him in the corner, open, stops, turns, takes the dribble, puts it up and in, and I think a 2-point shot.
Yep.
14-10, Lake City, the lead. 7.5 to go in the first half. Shot up for Pelican Rapids by Guler is good. And the leading scorer for Pelican Rapids has 6 points. As Lake City works with the ball on the far end of the court from where we are. The shot, a 3-point shot is good, and that's Wohlers, Joshua Wohlers, who had, I think, 10 or 11 points the other day against Cannon Falls in that win. Guler working with it, 17-12 lead for Lake City, and knocked away from Guler by Schoens, but picked back up as Larson takes the shot from the 3-point line. No good, rims out, and rebound fought for Fick, rips it out of there, and an elbow hits a player, and Charlie Larson will hit the floor, and a foul called on Fick. He's got a little too aggressive with the elbows.
Yeah, he was throwing the elbows around a little bit. That was a hard fought for a rebound. Pelican Rapids wasn't going to give it to him easily, but there was a little over-aggression. H&R Block stats of the game. Lakeville, Faribault, Owatonna. 7 for 14 shooting so far for Lake City, 50%, and 6 for 16, 38% for Pelican Rapids. So some pretty good shooting to start this ballgame.
Yeah, after the first 3 or 4 minute jitters, it's become a nice basketball game. 6:43 to go, first half. Pelican Rapids ball out at midcourt on the far sideline in front of the scorer's table. And in it comes for Benson. He'll be working up against Lawrenson, who's back in the game. Into the corner it goes. Now on the near side, Benson wanted the three-point shot, but closed out well by Lawrenson. And then a travel committed out there by Luke Soley.
And turnovers are 4 apiece.
So Lake City will inbound. And will take it down the court. Lawrenson with it. Guarded by Benson. Takes it between his legs. Dribbles to the left. Down the lane. Shot up. 10-footer. No good. The rebound is taken down by Pelican Rapids. Down they come. Basketball on the baseline. Good defense there from Luke Narum. 20 on the shot clock still, though, for Pelican Rapids as they move it around. Isserman is in the game. He had the ball. Here he is now. Excuse me, that's Soley shot up and good. 17-14, a 2-point basket for Pelican Rapids. Lawrenson bringing the ball down, kind of trots across the timeline. Soley now with it. Excuse me, Narum with it. He'll take a right-hand dribble, working against Charlie Larson. Now down on the baseline and dribbling to the block. A shot up, kind of a looping shot back up over his head for Lawrenson as he came across the lane through a double team. Great play for Lawrenson.
Good athletic ability, just falling as he was and still getting that ball up off his fingertips. Nicely done.
Beautiful play there as Benson got it down on the block for a wide open Welch, who put it in for Pelican Rapids. 19-16, just under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Lake City with the lead.
Welch is 6'7".
He's a big guy.
Yeah. I haven't looked to him too many times yet that I've noticed. I haven't noticed the ball in his hands a lot inside, but we'll find out how things develop.
Narum tried to loop it up for Fick inside, knocked away by Pelican Rapids. They'll come down the court with it.
He's not a brute at 6'7", but he's got the height.
Right. Driving now, Isserman shot up and good on the left-hand layup. Shot it up with the right hand off the glass.
Yeah, nice little burst of speed from Isserman.
Hunter Lawrenson drives past. Benson puts it up off the glass and in from about 10 feet out in the middle of the lane. There's a long pass down court for Pelican Rapids, and Welch can't handle it. It goes off his hands and out of bounds just a little bit too far down the court for him to lasso there. So a little pressure coming here. A little man-to-man pressure for Pelican Rapids as Lake City waits to inbound. Looks like kind of thing where they might trap the first pass and then kind of back off. Well, not even doing that. Just back it off right away. Pressure coming up the court, though, on Lawrenson from Guler. Lawrenson turns, drives past the defense, down, misses the layup from the right side under a lot of pressure, and the rebound down for Pelican Rapids. Here's Guler with it, drives into the lane, turns, tries to put it back up over his shoulder, and blocked out of bounds down there by Wohlers.
Yeah, good athlete right there, and you already, I think you mentioned some things about Wohlers athletically before, but he made a great play on that one.
Lake City basketball. Guler will throw it in and tried to get it to a cutting player, and then got it back, knocked it away, and knocked it away again. Turnover, Pelican Rapids. And this is Gavin Lawrenson driving to the lane, driving down the right side, knocked to the floor as he tried to shoot the layup, and he'll be fouled and go to the line for 2 shots.
Fouls on Pelican Rapids, number 30, Jack Welch.
A lot of things are even, as you would expect in a 3-point game. Rebounding is 11-9 in favor of Pelican Rapids. Points in the paint are 14-14.
First free throw up and no good. The foul was on Jack Welch, and that's his second for Pelican Rapids. Keegan Ryan on the bench with 2 fouls for Lake City.
And Welch has gone to take a seat on the bench for Pelican Rapids as well.
Second shot for Gavin Lawrenson is up and in. 22-18, Lake City, 3:20 to go, first half. Guler with it, dribbling on Jonas, gives it off for Torres. And Torres will dribble down into the lane, turns, spins, puts up a shot. It's short. And the rebound taken by Hunter Lawrenson. We'll take it back down court. Guler guarding him. So highest scoring players from each team guarding each other. Lake City basketball and driving the baseline, then whipping it back out. Here's Lawrenson, dribbles to the left elbow, shot up and no good. Front rim, back rim, and down. Rebound up for Fick, and no good, and he's knocked to the floor. And there will be a foul there, too. I don't know if that's going to be a shooting foul. It's not, I believe. Yeah, it wasn't really in the act of shooting. When the foul was committed, he'd kind of brought the ball back down, kind of getting ready in that position.
So reserve Severson picked up the foul, his first, and I think the team's 5th on Pelican Rapids.
There's Lawrence driving the lane. Lawrenson, have to get that pronunciation right. And ball will be inbounded now for Pelican Rapids on their baseline. Lawrenson will put it in. He'll get it back from Shones. Now up for Hunter Lawrenson. Drives into the lane, shot up, no good. Rebound taken down offensively, though, for Fick, and then he loses it, and Pelican Rapids has the basketball. Kind of ripped out of him, falling down, players all over the court. Pelican Rapids basketball, turning, driving, hitting, missing. It looked like he was going to make it an open layup, coming straight down the lane, and missed there by Luke Soley. Pelican Rapids basketball. Just under 2 minutes to go now. 22-18, the lead for the Tigers. Shones with it. Turns, dribbles, turns again in the lane. Puts up a shot. No good, but he's fouled. And the shot hung up on the rim for a second and then fell off.
Looked like he did a couple of complete rotations in the lane. A little 720 spin.
Yeah, turned one way, turned the other, and got the shot up and got fouled. Good play by Shones. First free throw up and good. He'll have another one.
Severson's second foul, the player for the Vikings of Pelican Rapids.
First point in the game for Shones.
Somebody's birthday.
Don't know whose birthday it is, but the fans singing happy birthday to somebody. The band over there. Made them both 24-18. 1:37 to go in the game. Soley working with it. Hands it off there for Larson, Grady Larson. Into the lane is Charlie Larson with the score. About 8 feet out in the middle of the lane as he came working across the lane from left to right.
Could it have been the Pelican Rapids band singing happy birthday to distract the Lake City shooter?
Maybe that's what it was.
It's not their team shooting at that end right now.
Lake City throws it away under the basket. Turnover, and back down all the way down court is a shot attempt from Charlie Larson from the left side for Pelican Rapids. He's fouled in there by Gavin Lawrenson. 2 shots upcoming for Charlie Larson. So 2 Larsons on Pelican Rapids, 2 Lawrensons on Lake City. And it wasn't able to find out if they're brothers or related or not. Larson certainly wouldn't have to be. A lot of Larsons around. Lawrenson seems like that might be a little more likely.
You would think that is the likely scenario.
Gavin Lawrenson, just a freshman.
And Shones got tagged with that foul, I believe.
Second shot, no good, and a foul committed now way down in this end. And I think that's Guler picking up the foul. We'll see here. And that's his second foul for Guler. And they'll walk all the way to the other end and shoot free throws.
What happened on the free throws that just were taken there?
Made the first, missed the second.
Okay.
24-21. Under a minute to go here in the first half, 57 seconds to be exact, as Fick puts up his first free throw, scores it on the front end of the 1-and-1.
6 out of 7 free throw shooting for Lake City. H&R Block stats of the game. They know their numbers at H&R Block, right? And then he missed.
Missed the second one, earned it, and then missed it. Benson has the rebound, and he's all the way down court here as they set it up right in front of us, Pelican Rapids does. Into the middle it goes for Guler, double-teamed instantly, and a good defensive spot there by Wohlers, but they put it across the lane, and the shot is up and good for Pelican Rapids, 25-23, 30 seconds to go in the first half. Just a little under, not even quite a second more on the game clock than the shot clock here for Lake City. They're going to probably try to burn this down to a last shot. 15 seconds to go in the half. Lawrenson dribbling it way out high in the right-hand side corner by the timeline. Now he'll attack. Turns, shoots, and misses off the right side of the rim. Rebound Pelican Rapids. A second to go. Long shot for Charlie Larson right at us. Looked like it was lined up pretty well, Roy, but just a little short.
Yeah, it did have the makings of a whale of a way to end with a buzzer beater, but it didn't quite go. But we've got a 2-point game at the half.
That's a good basketball game. Let's take a little break and get some of our sponsors some time, and we'll be right back.
Costco is hiring team members at the Costco Depot located in Owatonna. If you have the desire to work in a fast-paced environment with a diverse group of people, look no further. They are hiring entry-level positions and employees in refrigerated and dry environments. Starting pay is $19.50 an hour, with raises based on the number of hours worked, currently topping out at $29.30. Benefits start after 60 days of employment. Apply online at Costco.com. Costco is an equal opportunity employer.
Faribault Foods has been a pillar of the Faribault community since 1895. As a leading manufacturer of high-quality canned foods, they're dedicated to providing wholesome and delicious recipe-ready food. Keep your pantry stocked with canned beans and vegetables for easy meals at your fingertips. Use Mrs. Grimes beans in your favorite soups, chilies, or tacos. And buttered kernel vegetables is a side dish your family will love. For more meal inspiration, visit MrsGrimesBeans.com or ButteredKernel.com.
Federated Mutual Insurance Company is passionate about the care and enrichment of the next generation. At the heart of our charitable focus is youth mentoring and our support of Big Brothers Big Sisters. We are proud of our employees who are currently volunteering to be a big brother, big sister, big couple, or a big family, and yet there are hundreds of children still waiting for a big. Ignite your year. Empower potential today. Consider this your personal invitation to learn more about Big Brothers Big Sisters. Together, we can make a difference.
It's halftime at Target Center in Lake City with a 25-23 lead, up 2 over Pelican Rapids. And, Roy, what do you see interesting in the stats right now?
I guess that just in a close game, everything is so even. You've got Lake City shooting 41%, Pelican Rapids shooting 44%. 3-point shooting, not a big factor. Just 1 for 3 for Lake City. So often it seems that 3-point shooting becomes more and more a part of a lot of teams' games, but not so much for these two, at least not tonight. 1 for 3 for Lake City. Pelican Rapids is 0 for 4 on 3-pointers, which obviously would make a big difference if they had hit a couple of those. These teams like to take the ball to the basket. In the paint, it's Pelican Rapids outscoring Lake City, but only 16-14. So just the closeness of the stats. Rebounds 15-14. Turnovers are 6-6. And all those numbers add up to a game that should be close, and what do you know? It's a 2-point game, 25-23 Lake City. The numbers don't lie in this case.
Exactly. And what's the score in that game over at Williams Arena? Do you have that one?
We do. Minnehaha Academy is leading 25-17 over Pequot Lakes. They are at the half there as well. And I guess points in the paint, Minnehaha Academy has a big advantage there, 12-4. and is up by 8 points at the half. I'm seeing if there's any other stats that jump out. Minnehaha 39% shooting. Pequot Lakes is only shooting 27%. 17 points and a half is not a lot of points. So Pequot Lakes is being shut down quite a bit by Minnehaha Academy at the half.
Well, tough draw, really, kind of for Pequot Lakes, and we'll see how that goes. But if you shoot better than, what did you say, 17%?
17 points, they're shooting 27% is all. And, and compared to 39% for Minnehaha Academy, only an 8-point game, so Pequot Lakes has got to be thinking, even though we're getting, and this is the 5-4 game, the Minnehaha Academy Pequot Lakes game, only shooting 27%, only down by 8, so it's still anybody's game over at Williams Arena in that other Class AA quarterfinal.
Absolutely, and a good one here, too, as we've discussed, in scoring for Lake City, leading by 2, Hunter Lawrenson with 8 points and 4 out of 10 shooting. 5 points for Fick. 4 only for Ryan, who spent a lot of time on the bench in the first half after getting 2 early fouls, and they wanted to save him, I'm sure, for the second half. On the other side, leading in scoring, Guler, who is their leading scorer for Pelican Rapids. He has 6, and 4 each for a couple of players, Soli and Torres, and kind of wraps up the scoring. But looking at some other things here, 6 rebounds also for Fick on the Lake City side to go with his 5 points. On the looking over on the other side, nobody over 2 rebounds on the other side. Assists spread out pretty well, 1 here and there for each team. 3 blocks in the game already for Lake City. And it's kind of some interesting stuff. And as you said, it all adds up to a close game, and here we are. So second half, I think the first half, each team has kind of shut down the other scorer a little bit, especially Ryan with just 4. Guler on the Pelican Rapids side with only 6. And that can change a lot. The only one that's kind of working up to his average almost here would be Hunter Lawrenson with 8.
Hey, I'll run through what the schedule is for tomorrow. Another day of big coverage on the Mighty 920 KDHL 97.9 FM from the State High School Boys Basketball Tournament. We'll lead it off with the Class A quarterfinal. That'll be at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Top seed Cherry against defending champion Russell Tyler Ruthven. So what a great way to lead off the day. And then at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, it's Mankato East and Alexandria in a AAA semifinal. Mankato East blew out Chisago Lakes, and Alexandria escaped in their game to get into the semifinal. At 5 o'clock tomorrow, Goodhue will take on Fertile Beltrami. That's a 5 o'clock Class A quarterfinal. And then back to a semifinal, it'll be Minnetonka and Egan. Egan scored quite an upset here tonight over at Target Center. They beat number 2 seed, number 2 rated Park Center, 73-70. So Egan will match wits and strength with Minnetonka in an 8 o'clock game tomorrow night, and that'll be our 4th game on KDHL tomorrow, a 4A semifinal.
Yeah, lots of interesting stuff. That Egan upset is probably one of the more noticeable things from today. And Park Center looked pretty unhappy. I saw the end of that game here, and just really surprising. And Park Center looked a little blown away at the end. I don't think, obviously, they expected to lose that game.
Yeah, 73-70 was the final score in that one. Egan came into state 17-12. Park Center 25-3, number 2 rated. All these teams play in tough conferences, but certainly Egan playing in the South Suburban is tough. But the Northwest Suburban Conference is very tough as well. I think Park Center's in that Northwest Suburban, aren't they?
I believe you're right, yeah.
Yeah, and that conference, I mean, that conference is loaded. Even, the winner of the Northwest Suburban was Totino Grace, who's not even a 4A team.
Yeah.
Beating a bunch of 4A teams to win that conference championship. So all these teams are battle-tested, but on any given day, one team rises to the occasion and scores a big win like Egan did today over Park Center.
Well, you get a team like Egan now and then who gets hot when the tournament starts.
Yeah.
And then it's, not the greatest record, 12 losses, but it doesn't matter when you get here. Every game is a loss and you're done, but a win and you keep going. And so the season record doesn't always mean that much.
Right. State tournament time is a whole new ball game.
Well, let's take a break here, Roy, and we'll be back for the start of the second half.
The change in the seasons not only affect us, it also affects your vehicles. Hi, this is Ashley from the Owatonna Auto Clinic. When the temperatures drop, it affects tire pressures, battery functions, and temperature controls. Stop by for a checkup today. The Owatonna Auto Clinic will lab test your vehicle to make sure it has the right prescription to get you through the cold weather ahead. Drive with confidence with a little help from your friends at the Owatonna Auto Clinic at 902 Hoffman Drive in Owatonna.
H&R Block offices in Owatonna, Faribault, and Lakeville remind you now is the time to get your paperwork in order for tax season. Book your appointment at one of the offices where in-person or drop-off filing is available. No computer program can ask every single possible tax question. The tax professionals in Lakeville, Faribault, and Owatonna average 10 years experience, and you can request the same preparer every year. File your way at H&R Block offices in Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
You said it last year, but you didn't do it. Now you're thinking again, I gotta find someone to take care of my books. And it's never too late. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service can do that to ensure next year's tax time is much less stressful. From farming to small businesses, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services will customize a plan that best fits your needs. Just think, you can have an expert take care of your day-to-day and month-to-month accounting tasks, freeing you up to do what you do best, run your business. They even work with individuals. See what they can do for you. Call Ackerman Accounting and Tax Services today, 451-3399.
Back in the 1920s, when an entrepreneur came to town to seek their dream, they needed three things: a place to stay, a knowledgeable banker, and an account with First United Bank. Today, First United Bank in Faribault and Owatonna is still helping young people who are starting out. First United Bank has grown to the size it is today by giving sound financial advice and personal service to its customers for over 100 years. That's why First United Bank is important for young families today. At First United Bank, they didn't invent personal service, they just never forgot it. Member FDIC.
Back at Target Center, getting ready here for the second half. Teams coming on the court. We just mentioned all of our sponsors: H&R Block, Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service, Faribault Foods, Costco Wholesale of Owatonna, First United Bank, Amesbury Truth, Federated Mutual Insurance, and the Owatonna Auto Clinic. And we thank you all. The Mighty 920 KDHL, 76 years of state tournament coverage. Pelican Rapids with the basketball to start the second half. Gooler with it, way out high now, guarded by Ryan. And he takes a turn to the right, spins, jumps into the lane, then kicks it back out for Torres. Torres takes it to the baseline, now back out for Charlie Larson as they continue to drive. Kind of a dribble drive effect offense right now. Gooler gives it for Torres. 3 on the shot clock, and Charlie Larson has to take a shot, and he made it. He put it off the glass. A 2-point shot from about 16 feet out. And sometimes it's good to have a little bit of luck on your side, too. 26-25 now. Pelican Rapids has taken a lead over Lake City. Shot driving, Jonas, no good. Rebound taken down by Pelican Rapids.
So sometimes the shot clock does come into play. It's changed the tempo of Minnesota basketball, which was already pretty fast anyway. But you get those fun plays like right there where you got to beat the buzzer with a shot.
And Charlie Larson, that's Gooler with the shot. And 29-25 the score. Was that a three-point shot?
It was. Yep, Larson and Gooler each hit a three. So big start to the second half here for Pelican Rapids to grab the lead a minute and a half in.
16 and a half to go, 29-25 after a 25-23 lead for Lake City. And the turnover now by Lake City as they threw it away under the basket. A pass from Gavin Lawrenson. Back down, spinning in the lane, Torres, and he hits a shot. Spinning down the left side of the lane, fading away at the block, and put it in. A swish shot from the left side. 31-25. Lake City has yet to score here in the second half. It's 8-0 here in the second half. in favor of Pelican Rapids. The ball moves around quickly now for Lake City. Into the lane they go. Shot up and short for Scholes, but the rebound for Fick. And he puts it back up and in from the right side block. And a beautiful play by Fick, who has 7 points now. And 6 rebounds. Having a heck of a game. Torres working on the other end. Now to Guler for Pelican Rapids. Charlie Larson with the shot. No good. He's scored the last 5 points for Pelican Rapids. The long 3-point shot. No good. And the rebound down for Fick after the missed shot by Luke Soley. And a great running play as they brought it down the right side. And Scholes hit Ryan with a beautiful pass, and the layup coming in from the left side. Now a turnover on Lake City, and on Pelican Rapids. Lake City with the basketball. Trailing it by 2, 31-29. A long 3 for Ryan, no good. An air ball, and rebound taken down by Fick, and they're going to award the ball to Pelican Rapids. May have been a traveling call.
They did call traveling on Fick. He ended up falling to the floor. He took a shot while sitting on the floor that almost went in, but the official was waving it off even before it had made it over the lip of the rim, because I thought that had a chance to go in. But it was simply traveling, so a turnover against Lake City.
Guler takes it to the lane, charged with the offensive foul, working against Ryan. Kind of dipped his shoulder down as he turned, and turnover on Pelican Rapids.
3rd foul on him, and first of the second half on Pelican Rapids.
Grady Larson in the game on the Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service substitutions. Hunter Lawrenson working on Guler. Take it back around and a handoff for Gavin Lawrenson. Loses the ball temporarily. Now brings it to the free throw line. Little floater is up and good. And it's a 31-31 game. The basket for Gavin Lawrenson. Torres brings it down. Lawrenson. Hunter will pick him up there. Tries to go down the left side of the lane. Good defense for Lawrenson. Charlie Larson takes it and picked off down there by Ryan and then thrown right back to Pelican Rapids. And a long 3 by Torres as they hadn't even set up an offense yet. And a very long 3, 34-31. Beautiful shot. And Gavin Lawrenson comes down the lane, puts up a layup. It's not good. Fell off the front of the rim, but he's fouled, and he'll have 2 free throws coming up.
Pelican Rapids, by the way, speaking of conferences, they came in 3rd in the Heart of Lakes Conference, behind Barnesville, where in Dilworth, Glendon, Felton. Lake City 2nd in the Hiawatha Valley to Stewartville, who's, of course, here at State in AAA, and lost to Totino Grace in an exciting game earlier today.
First foul shot missed by Gavin Lawrenson. Keegan Ryan sporting the Mohawk in the game right now. Second shot also no good. Rims out, and it will belong to Pelican Rapids as Ryan fought for a rebound on the baseline, went out of bounds off of him.
They do the bleaching of the hair in hockey a lot of times. Some teams did this year. Basketball, I don't know if it has a reputation of doing something quite like that.
Soccer is big for that. I don't know basketball. I think it might be a soccer and hockey thing, maybe. I don't know if lacrosse does it. Knowing those guys, they might do it too.
Well, yeah, I suppose you never knew. Lacrosse being so new, it's hard to know what kind of traditions maybe go back on the East Coast or what have you, where lacrosse has been around for much longer. I think there might be a question on the shot clock timing here, which is why there's a little bit of a slight break in the action.
I think lacrosse is kind of a fun game to watch. It has some similarities to basketball, really.
It does, and to hockey.
Up plays, and hockey, absolutely. Yeah. And I suppose you could say soccer, too, but I really enjoy watching how they set things up and how they do things. It's a fun game to watch if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, almost like a gladiator kind of game, too, because on the guys' side, they're whacking each other with a stick. The girls' game is a much different type of game.
Yeah, it is. 3-point shot is no good, but they get the offensive rebound. And another shot up and in, a 3-point shot. Didn't really catch who shot
I think it was Larson. I goes Charlie Larson. He's having himself a good game. He's got 11 points to lead his team in scoring.
37-31, 6-point lead now for Pelican Rapids. And a timeout called by Lake City. And it'll be a short one. Oh, no, it's a full timeout. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on the Mighty 920.
Every part counts at Amesbury Truth, and the most important one is the part you'll play when you join their team. As the leading provider of window and door products in North America, Amesbury Truth has a part for you. Right now, they're hiring, and those positions come with competitive wages, benefits, and plenty of opportunities too. So you never stop growing. Isn't it time you open the door to a career at Amesbury Truth? Get details and apply online at amesburytruth.com/careers.
Costco is hiring team members at the Costco Depot located in Owatonna. If you have the desire to work in a fast-paced environment with a diverse group of people, look no further. They are hiring entry-level positions and employees in refrigerated and dry environments. Starting pay is $19.50 an hour, with raises based on the number of hours worked, currently topping out at $29.30. Benefits start after 60 days of employment. Apply online at Costco.com. Costco is an equal opportunity employer.
Lake City trailing it 37-31 right now here at Target Center. Brad and Roy back with you in the Mighty 920 KDHL. Lake City with the basketball. Little handoff game right now. Out high with it is Lawrenson. Hunter now in the far corner rather for Gavin, and down the lane is Hunter Lawrenson looking for a foul call that he didn't get, and a knock to the floor on the attempted layup from the left side, and back down off the turnover now. Here's Ryan for Lake City with a long three, no good. Left side of the rim, but the rebound for Fick, he can't get it in, and then Gavin Lawrenson picks it up, flying out of bounds, throws it off of Pelican Rapids, and it will belong to Lake City.
That was a pretty frantic few seconds there, the way that went back and forth so quickly.
Certainly was, yeah.
Turnover developing as Pelican Rapids threw that pass. It was a little too far ahead of their guy, and he tried to save it right to Lake City Tiger.
Wohlers in the game for Lake City. And they run a little triangle play, a little lob play for Ryan into the middle, and he put it right up and in from the inbound play. 37-33, Pelican Rapids. Shot up for Charlie Larson is no good. Rebound taken down, and all the way down the court was Lorenzen, knocked out of his hands by Torres as he came in for the layup. It'll belong to Lake City, and they'll inbounds underneath their own basket. Right in front of us. Lake City now playing on our end. And Pelican Rapids working to the far end.
A lot of these shots are contested. It's no easy path to the basket, although that one worked out pretty easily for Keegan Ryan.
But coaches hate that when you score on an inbounds play. And 2 in a row now for Lake City scoring on inbounds play. Ryan with that one. And thrown out of bounds now by Pelican Rapids as Benson was looking for Charlie Larson and just kind of missed him and threw it out of bounds. Little man, token half-court pressure now. Ryan with the basketball, bringing it down for the Tigers. And cutting to the basket is Lawrenson. He'll be called, though, for an offensive foul. He came down to the block and then hit Benson and then turned around, but the offensive foul was called. He turned around to get it back out to Ryan, I think, and the foul called and the turnover on Pelican Rapids. 37-35. Pelican Rapids by 2. Here's Benson working against Hunter Lawrenson. Benson working off a screen now. Gets down to the block, just dribbling it towards the free throw line. Now he's stuck, picked up his dribble. Back out high for Guler. Sends it into the corner on the right side for Larson. He drives baseline, dishes it back into the lane on a nice play. He found Grady Larson coming down the lane and scooped it right back to him, and an easy shot for Larson. 39-35, 11 minutes to go 4-point lead for Pelican Rapids. A miss on the shot for Lawrenson. A rebound, rather, for Lawrenson, and he put it back in. All the way down court. Thompson turns around for the shot, blocked by Ryan. And here come the Tigers. Back down the court, pass from Ryan to Scholes on the opposite side. Goes up for the shot and is fouled. Knocked to the floor there. He'll have 2 free throws.
Fouls on number 15, Timmy Guler.
3 fouls in the second half here so far on Pelican Rapids. Only 1 on Lake City in a 39-37 game. Jones can tie this game with 2 free throws.
That's the 4th on Guler, by the way. 4th foul.
Boy, that's huge.
Yeah, he's about to take a seat, I believe.
Free throw's no good. Front rim and back for Jones.
6 for 11 from the line. Sorry, Brad. 6 for 11 from the line for Lake City. 1 for 2 is the only trips to the free throw line for Pelican Rapids.
Torres checks back in on the H&R Block, Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville stats. That's the stats. We'll get to them in a minute. Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service sponsoring the substitution. And a spin and called a palming or a turning of the basketball. Man, you never see that anymore.
No.
It's a good call. We were watching the games today, and these players are absolutely carrying that basketball.
Yeah.
And I think I would have been a lot better player if I could have done that back in the day. But back in the day, man, they didn't allow any of that. But it's getting really bad, and I think it's something that they need to get a hold of, because the players coming by us sitting courtside at Williams Arena, just constantly their hand way under the basketball, totally on the underneath side, just carrying it with them. But that's the call here, turnover, and back to Pelican Rapids goes the basketball. Benson working with it. Now inside. Turnaround, trying to drive into the lane, and the shot on the turnaround, no good for Isserman. And now down court quickly off the rebound is Lake City. Driving layup for Jones is no good. It just hung on the rim and kind of fell off after a spin or two. Rebound Pelican Rapids. Driving down the lane and stopped there by Fick was Soley. And a 3-point shot is up now and good for Isserman. And it's a 4-point lead again for Pelican Rapids, 42-38, 9:50 to go in the second half. Lake City working the basketball on their end, driving into the lane and spinning as Jones turns around, puts up an 8-footer and scores it. Good play by Jones. 42-40 Pelican Rapids. 9.5 minutes. Turning quickly, going to down the lane, and a foul committed. And on against Soley. I don't know who that's going to be on yet.
Fouls on Keegan Ryan.
That is third foul on Keegan Ryan. I was thinking it might be, so that's a huge foul for Lake City.
Number 10 just checked in, Charlie Larson. And
Charlie Larson back in for Pelican Rapids.
For the Vikings.
3-point basket now for Torres for Lake City, and they'll take a 5-point lead here, 45-40 over Lake City. The 3-point barrage now kind of coming, Roy, in the second half for Pelican Rapids.
6 3-pointers in the second half for the Vikings.
Pretty hard to keep up with that, but Jones, another beautiful spin into the lane, and almost the same shot he took last time. A 8 or 10-foot shot, and a little bit of a fadeaway, scores it. 45-42, and a steal by Lawrenson. Hunter puts it up all alone on the breakaway layup. 45-44, 4 straight there for Lake City, and a timeout called.
And we can just hold it here on the timeout. And any thoughts you have, or I'll pass along a note on the other game.
Gosh, just the 3-point shooting for Pelican Rapids is making it pretty hard to keep up, but Lake City is.
Absolutely. And they're 6 for 8 in the second half alone. And that was, I commented at halftime that three-point shooting wasn't a factor, but at that time it wasn't. Pelican Rapids was 0 for 4, but maybe it is more of a part of their game than we realized, or than I realized in that first half, because in the second half you're 6 for 8 on three-point shooting. Torres with 2, Larson with 2, Guler and Eisman each have a three-pointer as well. And yet with all that threes raining down, Lake City has stuck with them, and it's a one-point ball game.
Ryan is out of the game with 3 fouls for Lake City. And Pelican Rapids will inbound on the Lake City end in front of us. Charlie Larson with the basketball, sends it across for Isserman, and he'll bring it up across the timeline, guarded by Hunter Lawrenson. He's swinging around the three-point line. Charlie Larson hits a driving player. Shot up, no good up the layup, but an offensive rebound was put up and in for Torres, and he will go to the line off the foul. So 47-44. 3-point lead for Pelican Rapids. It was 25-23, I believe, at halftime, right?
It was. Lake City 25-23 at the half.
And Pelican Rapids came out and scored the first 8 points of the second half, and they've kind of been hot ever since then, to say the least. Free throw upcoming here for Torres. Finally giving him the ball. Bends it ease up and no good off the deep back rim. And the rebound fought for, pulled out of there by Fick for Lake City. Actually, Ryan is back in now. Maybe he didn't check out. I thought he had. Lawrenson working with it. Hunter drives. Left elbow shot. Short. Gets his own. And knocked out of bounds. And it will be Lake City basketball. Kind of looked like it came off of Lawrenson's hands. But a little break for Lake City, perhaps.
Yeah, those close plays when a player is knocking out of another player's hands as to who last actually touched the ball. No video replays here, although that certainly happens starting for the team that wins, having those video replay options to get the calls as accurate as they can.
Working against Pelican Rapids is Hunter Lawrenson. He'll step back, take the three, and miss it, but the rebound for Ryan. Up and in, 47-46. Lake City keeping it close here, to say the least.
Wow.
And, boy, somehow keeping up with the three-pointers for Pelican Rapids. And I think, Roy, you said they've hit 6 in the second half.
Yes.
Torres with the basketball, working on Hunter Lawrenson. Driving down the lane now. Grady Larson. Shot up and in.
Grady Larson!
49-46. Grady Larson with 6 points. Keegan Ryan drives the lane, tries to get it down low, and knocked out of bounds off of Pelican Rapids.
Second half, Lake City is shooting overall 10 for 21. Pelican Rapids is 10 for 17. So things just remain very, very even in a 3-point game.
Driving the lane now down the middle, knocked out of his hands on the layup attempt for Lawrenson. And then a foul committed against Fick when he got the offensive rebound. He'll go to the line for 2.
Falls on Pelican Rapids, number 24, Ethan Eisman.
Lake City 7 for 12 from the free throw line as the team.
Right foul on Isserman. And his second foul. First foul, First one up and no good for Fick. Second one is good. Got it. 2-point game. 49-47 for Pelican Rapids. Isserman bringing it down. Hands it off. Now Larson with it. Torres, little jump stop, fake. Back out at the 3-point line to him now, working on the left side. And loses the ball, but picked back up by Welch. A little shot down inside, looking for Welch on the little loft pass. And no good, and taken away there by Pelican Rapids on the turnover. Trying to get it down to Fick in the middle was Ryan. Picked up out there by... Wohlers picked it up, and then he was fouled on the shot attempt, and now he will go to the line. Pelican Rapids, Lake City, these free throws pretty important here. First one up and good. Front rim, back rim glass, and then dropped through the net. Second one upcoming for Wohlers, who has 4 points in the game.
Third foul on Welch, by the way.
Made them both. Used the rim a lot, but they fell through. Made them both. 49-49, a tie game here. Lake City and Pelican Rapids. 6:25 to go in the basketball game. Isman with it. Ryan guarding him in a bit of a mismatch there. Torres driving on Lawrenson. Looked like he knocked him down with a shoulder. No call. But the shot no good, and Fick with the rebound. And that's 12 rebounds for Fick.
Wow.
12 rebounds and 8 points. What a game.
As they say, they're letting them play at times today with some big collisions that have not resulted in whistles.
3-point shot is up and no good for Wohlers. Ryan with the rebound. Into the corner again. Wohlers will take one, miss it again. And the rebound picked up by Fick as he chased it out to the 3-point line. Lawrenson with it. 15 on the shot clock. Into the lane goes Jones. He puts it up and in just inside the right elbow. A little jumper there right through the hoop. A 51-49 lead now for Lake City and a Pelican Rapids timeout.
So the rebound total right now is 30-22 in favor of Lake City, and that possession right there, Brad, an example of some good offensive rebounding by the Tigers to keep it and eventually score the basket.
Yeah, no question. Ryan has 12 for Lake City. Hunter Lawrenson with 10. The Pelican Rapids side. 14 points for Torres, 11 for Charlie Larson, and he's hit a lot of them in the second half here. He's been kind of part of that 3-point scoring barrage.
So even with 76 years of covering the state boys basketball tournament on KDHL, that is still not long enough ago for the last time that Farmington was at the state tournament. Certainly one of the cool stories is Farmington getting out of Section 1-4A. 1937 is the last time the Tigers were here at state. Here on this floor today, they lost a 1-point game to Cretin-Durham Hall. A huge crowd. I saw some some social media postings on the crowd that was here to cheer on the Tigers. And how excited that community and that school was to be here at the State Boys Basketball Tournament. But they'll move to the consolation round as Cretin-Durham Hall scored the 1-point win.
So that was not on KDHL.
Right, yes.
76 years doesn't go back that far.
Yeah, 1937. No, not quite. I'm almost old enough, but not quite.
Driving on the baseline, the shot up and blocked by Lake City. As Grady Larson tried to make it on a turnaround. Lawrenson, driving down the lane. Ryan with it. Kicks it back out for Hunter Lawrenson. He'll dribble with the right hand, bring it up to the 3-point line. Working on Torres, tries to get in the lane. Picked away out of there by Torres. And down court quickly is up and good for Guler, who is playing with 4 fouls. 4:48 to go. You got to use them now, I guess. 51-51 tie. What a great game this has been.
6 points has been the biggest lead for each team at one point in time. It's been close.
Jones in the lane, working on the defense. Shot up. No good from 14 feet off the back rim. The rebound down for Lake City. Here's Guler working with it. Drives right to the block. Up and no good with the shot. And the rebound taken down by Ryan. Lake City in a tie. 4:15 to go. Lawrenson. Hunter missed it on the way up from the right side. Just didn't get it quite up high enough on the rim. Looks like he's kind of limping a little bit almost out there. Got mugged a little bit on that one again. Beautiful pass from Guler inside. Torres missed the turnaround layup, however. And now a foul committed on Lake City. Fouling Grady Larson. Not a shooting foul.
Falls on the Tigers, number 20, James Jones. That's his second personal.
Fouls on Shones, his second. Pelican Rapids will inbound. Goes in deep out there for Welch. Now a running jumper off the glass from straight on out, just at the top of the circle inside the three-point line. Grady Larson with that basket. Hunter Lawrenson hands it off on the handoff for Shones. Now he'll dive down deep. Shones dribbling the basketball. Ryan in the far corner. Working down inside for Fick. Up off the glass. No good. Up over the rim. And the rebound down for Pelican Rapids, who holds a 2-point lead, 53-51 with 3:15 to go in the basketball game. Here's Guler working and throws it off. Now thrown away by Charlie Larson and picked up by Lake City, and then they lose the basketball immediately. And a foul committed down there on Welch. Against Welch, I should say. I think this might be a shooting foul. No, it's not.
Third. I think it's third, isn't it?
Yeah, third foul on Shones.
Yeah, third on Shones.
Correction, that is his third personal.
5 fouls on Lake City, 5 fouls on Pelican Rapids. 53-51, Vikings, 3:06 to go.
It's going to come down to the end, as a few games have today, Roy, and exciting game. A little nerve-wracking if you're a fan of one or the other team. Driving into the lane, Guler, and puts the shot up and good on a little flying and turning shot just inside the free throw line. 55-51, 2:45 to go in the game. Lawrenson down with a wild shot up, and a timeout called before that. Timeout called by Lake City.
There's been a 1-point game today. Creighton-Durham Hall defeating Farmington. Final in that one was 57-56. There's been a 2-point game today. And where did that one go? Oh, Alexandria 72-70 over Minneapolis South. There's been a 3-point game today. Egan upsetting Park Center 73-70. I think those are the 3 closest games. There was a 6-point game, De La Salle by 6 over Orono. So we've had a handful of very tight games today. 3 games decided by 3 or less so far.
Yeah, that was a good game, that De La Salle-Orono game. It was a De La Salle with a lot of athletic talent, as they always have. Orono fighting them and taking them down to the stretch, but then losing at the end. So this one, 2:47 to go. Pelican Rapids with a 55-51 lead, 4-point lead over Lake City.
And remember our broadcast day, baseline to baseline coverage of the State Boys Basketball Tournament on the Mighty 920, KDHL in Faribault. Starts bright and early at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in the Class A quarterfinals as they hit the floor here at Target Center. Top seed Cherry to play defending state champion Russell Tyler Ruthden, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Inbounded by Shones for Lake City. Handoff from Ryan. Takes it in and almost stolen away. Now coming down the lane at the free throw line, kicking it back out to Ryan was Lorenzen. Fick gets it down low. Shot up and a tough one. Up and in by Shones. A beautiful play, a rugged play as he took it to the block and inside and just jumped back into the defense and put it in. Pelican Rapids ball. Charlie Larson trying to go down the lane. Stolen away by Ryan. Lake City basketball. They trail it 55-53. 2:10 to go in the game. As Lake City works with it. And turning and spinning into the lane. Shones again has to send it back out for Ryan now. Back to Shones. Left-hand corner. Sends it across for Hunter Lawrenson. And Hunter Lawrenson will take it down the lane, turn, and somehow get a shot off. He was guarded heavily. Rebound for Fick, and a tie ball called, and that will belong to Lake City. So with 1:40 left, Lake City trailing by 2.
5 checking in, Gavin Lawrenson for the Tigers. Center Fick.
Ruler playing with 4 fouls for Pelican Rapids, 3 for Ryan for Lake City, who has been playing for quite a while with those 3 fouls. Trying to get it to Ryan coming down the lane on that inbound play stolen away by Lake City. The turnover for Lake City. Torres working with the basketball now. Tosses it over to Guler. He'll come to the right side off a screen. Head down the left side of the lane. Stop there. Sends it back out deep. Torres stops, turns, gets down into the inside the three-point line. Now sends it back to Guler with 8 on the shot clock. And he'll take a long three and make it. Guler, their leading scorer, best player, will put in a long three, a huge one. 5-point lead now with a minute left for Pelican Rapids. And a foul committed as Hunter Lawrenson comes down the right side of the lane, tries to make the layup and is fouled. Torres, the foul, it's his first. He's got 14 points, 6 fouls now on Pelican Rapids. So in the last minute, if there's more fouls on them, then Lake City will go to the line. First one up and good for Hunter Lawrenson.
Of course, they need those points now, does Lake City, down by 4 with that last made free throw.
1 minute even to play. Second one up and good also for Hunter Lawrenson. He's got 12 points, 58-55, a 3-point lead for Pelican Rapids. The ball knocked away by Lake City by, it was Gavin Lawrenson who knocked it away. Timeout called Lake City. And we'll take a little break here. Be right back for the end of this game on the mighty 920 KDHL.
Faribault Foods has been a pillar of the Faribault community since 1895. As a leading manufacturer of high-quality canned foods, they're dedicated to providing wholesome and delicious recipe-ready food. Keep your pantry stocked with canned beans and vegetables for easy meals at your fingertips. Use Mrs. Grimes beans in your favorite soups, chilies, or tacos. And buttered kernel vegetables is a side dish your family will love. For more meal inspiration, visit MrsGrimesBeans.com or butterkernel.com.
Back here at the Target Center, Brad and Roy bringing you this game on the mighty 920 KDHL 97.9. 58-55, 54 and a half seconds to go. The lead for Pelican Rapids in this hard-fought game has been a good one. In the second half, I think the biggest lead that anybody has had, and that's Pelican Rapids, I think is 5 points.
Okay, and all I know is overall in the game, the biggest lead each team has had is 6, but I'm not sure where the breakdown is on that.
That's a close, hard-fought game by a definition right there. And when you look at the stats all along, Roy, you've been finding that the stats are about even too, as you might expect.
Yeah, at this point, one thing in Pelican Rapids' favor is they're shooting 50% overall, but Lake City at 41% is pretty good as well. So, yeah, a lot of good stats.
And on the inbounds of driving, Hunter Lawrenson puts it in from the left side on the inbounds play from Schoen. And Lawrenson will go to the line. Pelican Rapids Lake City can tie it on this free throw. 58-57 right now. Pelican Rapids, 52.9 to go. All of that happened in less than 2 seconds. Shot up and good for Hunter Lawrenson. He has 15. It's a tie game with 53 seconds to go. Guler with it. Schoen guarding him, and a timeout called now by Pelican Rapids. 2 timeouts left for Lake City. 1 now for Pelican Rapids with 45 seconds. 58-58.
Yeah, 28 seconds to shoot and 45 seconds to go in regulation, as you said, in Pelican Rapids ball. So they take the timeout right there. Pelican Rapids, the head coach is John Gullingsrud, 10th season, 129 and 136 over that time. And Greg Berge, the head coach at Lake City, 18 seasons with 358 wins against 122 losses. He's taken a number of Lake City teams to state. They were here in 2019, 2017 as well.
28 years of coaching experience between the two of them. And these teams play like it, too. They're well coached. Their fundamentals are good. And they look tight and together on each team. And that's what you would expect with all that coaching history and experience.
The game is not on TV, but they do have cameras here in the arena. And they just focused the cameras on one of the sets of fans, the Lake City fans behind us. So you heard a little bit of an extra roar as fans see themselves on the big board up above the Target Center floor. An enormous video screen here at Target Center.
Far end inbound for Pelican Rapids. Picking it up in the backcourt is Guler. Jones picks him up there. Torres dribbles it out. Can't get a cutting Larson. 30 seconds left. 12 on the shot clock for Pelican Rapids. Guler driving. Shot up and good. And boy, he is a good player. 18 points for Guler at this point. 60-58, 18 seconds left and counting. Here's Lawrenson driving, and he is fouled, I think, before the shot. I think this will be a 1-and-1.
I think you're right. I believe so.
So the front end of this is critical, obviously. Trailing by 2 with 15 seconds to go. And Lawrenson has been attacking the right side of that lane here in the last several minutes. And it's paying off for him. 15 points for him. 12 for Ryan.
And Hunter Lawrenson 3 for 3 from the free throw line. A 1-and-1, as you said, Brad, in a game that's a 2-point difference.
And Guler has checked out. I don't understand that. But the first free throw up and good. Front end of a 1-and-1 for Hunter Lawrenson is good. 60-59. 15.2 seconds in this game. Second one up and good. Made them both. He's made 4 in a row. Pelican Rapids with the ball. Coming down court quickly. Benson. Far side picked up now by Hunter Lawrenson, and a timeout called by Pelican Rapids, and I think that's their last timeout.
You are correct. It is the last timeout with 10 seconds to go. And Guler on the bench, as you said. I wonder if they check him in at this time or not.
Yeah, you'd think that if they're going to go offense-defense, they'd go offense with him, and I would assume maybe he will check in. That was kind of strange. I'm not sure why that would happen.
Yeah, but 4 fouls, of course, on Guler.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw him go over to the table right now to check in, though. But we'll find out here momentarily with 10 seconds to go in a tie ball game. I don't know if there's been an overtime game yet today, even those couple of close games I mentioned. You know what happened, Brad? I'm looking at the official sheet. Guler fouled out of the game.
Oh, he did. I missed that. I'm sorry.
I missed it as well. No, it's on the score sheet here. 5 fouls. Now, didn't Guler just hit the last basket?
He did. Yeah.
And then,
so he committed the foul down here on Hunter Lawrenson, I guess. And
apparently so.
Yeah.
So that's why Guler is not on the floor. Guler is fouled out with 5. So their leading scorer, even though they've got other guys that can score as well, Pelican Rapids' #1 scorer is on the bench.
10 seconds. Here's the Pelican Rapids inbound. Comes in for Torres. Time running. He's standing in the backcourt or near the backcourt. Torres, ball knocked out of bounds. He loses it out of bounds. Lake City basketball with 3.5 seconds to go after the turnover on Pelican Rapids. And just kind of Lawrenson tapped the ball as he was dribbling it, and then it went out of bounds off Torres.
Yeah, it did. It somehow went off Torres' knee. And now Lake City, with 3.5 seconds to go in a tie game, takes their second to last timeout. With the ball, and I suppose it's probably a backcourt inbound where it went out of bounds.
So Guler fouled out with 18 points in the game. And wow, 3.5 seconds to go, and you have to think that Lake City is drawing something up either for Hunter Lawrenson or maybe for Keegan Ryan, and they're two go-to guys. And it's nice when you have 2 guys you can go to and count on. Not that somebody else couldn't score 2, but those are the guys that are really kind of the leaders, at least statistically wise. And to me, watching this game, they're the leaders on the team too, just kind of the way it looks out there.
All right, 3.5.
Here comes the ball in. And Lawrenson has it. Shot up early. Well, not early, I guess. Went up. We're going to overtime. It hit the bottom of the net on kind of a desperation shot as he was driving down at the top of the key. and was highly guarded. So overtime coming up. Extra basketball for you. No more charges, though. Just coming in free on the extra basketball.
So overtime we go after some exciting games already today. Of course, shot clock is something that's a reality nowadays. I was here for that state tournament game where was it Coffey? Who was the player that held onto the ball? There was an overtime game where, with no shot clock, of course, a number of years ago, that the player just stood at midcourt and held the ball, and no one came out to guard him.
Yeah.
So overtime consisted of one shot. And was just kind of a comical scene and something that you can't have anymore with the shot clock.
Yeah.
But that was the thing at the state tournament a few years ago. But we won't have that to worry about today. That was a sight to behold of him just standing there, and not even dribbling, just standing there holding the ball, as I recall.
No four-corner stall offense like Dean Smith used to run in North Carolina. They could hang on to that ball for a long time.
You got to shoot nowadays, and it should be 4 minutes. They've got 40 seconds posted on the clock. They'll fix that momentarily, but we play 4 minutes of overtime.
So Pelican Rapids entering overtime without their leading scorer, Guler, who fouled out, and we'll see what kind of a difference that makes. He had really kind of taken over here in the last couple minutes as far as scoring for Pelican Rapids. There's a lot of guys on Pelican Rapids, however, who can score.
Now they've got it at 4 seconds.
This will be a quick overtime here.
Yeah, it will.
Depends on who gets the ball first, I guess.
Now we're back to 40 seconds.
Back to 40 seconds.
The online live stats shows it correctly here. Now we've got it correctly in the arena. Here we go, overtime.
I'm sure glad I'm not the guy trying to get that to work over there. He's probably glad that nobody knows which guy he is there. So.
Right.
All right. Lake City wins the tap. Hunter Lawrenson brings it to the left elbow, hands it off or throws it to Gavin, and down inside, Lawrenson gets it to his teammate and almost lost out of bounds there by Wohlers. Lawrenson with it again, spins in the lane. Here's a long three for Ryan. No good. Came in short off the rim. Almost out to the NBA line. Not quite. Pelican Rapids ball. 3:31 to go. Overtime 60-60. And coming down the lane and then kicking it out was Benson, and a foul committed somewhere in there. It will not be a shooting foul.
Number 5, Gavin Lawrenson, it's his second personal.
On Gavin Lawrenson, number 5, that'll be his first. 6 fouls now on Pelican Rapids. On Lake City. 7 already on Pelican Rapids. Driving into the lane, Larson can't find a shot, really gets his own rebound on the offensive rebound. Another offensive rebound for Pelican Rapids, up and in, another one, and now a foul committed on 3 offensive rebounds on that play.
Grady Larson earns himself a trip to the free throw line. 8 points for the freshman. No free throws attempted at this point for Grady Larson.
And we don't have a lot of stats, unfortunately, especially on Pelican Rapids, because we just couldn't find them published anywhere. First free throw up and in for Grady Larson. 61-60, the first scorer of the overtime period. 3:11 to go. Second shot as the dog pound talks behind us here from Lake City. This one's no good. Rebound for Fick, who now has 15 rebounds in this game. Ryan, little bounce pass across there for Hunter Lawrenson. As they set the offense. Handoff now for Shones. And he'll give it back now to Hunter Lawrenson. He'll drive, put those shot up and good. Went by one defensive player, hit the other one at the rim, couldn't stop him. 62-61, Lake City with the lead. 2:38 to go, overtime. Benson is it near side now for Grady Larson. Back high and thrown away, picked away out of there by Lake City. Here comes Hunter Lawrenson. Nobody stopping him so far. Goes to the left block, and then they do. Ryan with it. Little shot, little floater from the lane. Turned from left to right and put up a floater and scored a 3-point lead in overtime for Lake City. 64-61. Working our way down towards 2 minutes to go in the overtime period. Big shot by Ryan.
Well, he's one of their big players, and you need that.
Benson drives in, blocked out of bounds by Ryan. And I don't think they called a foul.
They called out some head contact while blocking that ball, that shot. A couple of players went up, and Hunter Lawrenson made some contact, and it results in 2 free throws for Trayvon Benson.
First one is up and no good. Hung itself on the left side of the rim, almost fell in, and then tipped to the outside and down to the floor. Second free throw now for Benson. It's up and no good. And the rebound grabbed by Fick, his 16th rebound now. Actually, that was Wohlers, excuse me. Wohlers with the rebound. Driving into the lane, being held by Hunter Lawrenson. Bringing it down the middle of the lane and just held there by Torres. Actually on Benson, I guess.
Benson on the foul.
1 and 1 for number 1, Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah, must have been Benson, his first foul. And a 1-on-1 situation here for Hunter Lawrence, and no good. And the rebound ball grabbed by Fick as he worked and tapped it out to himself. Lake City basketball, 1.5 to go here in this game. Hunter Lawrenson out top, working on Charlie Larson. Stop, dribble, hesitation, now into the lane. Ford Jones puts it in. Coming from left to right, flying across the lane, turned, put it up, and in. And now a turnover on Pelican Rapids with 1:18 to go. They threw it out of bounds in the far right corner, trying to hit a player down there, just went out of bounds. And turnover for Pelican Rapids, 66-61. Lake City, 1:18 to go. And Lake City in a pretty good position right now.
1 timeout left for Pelican Rapids in overtime. Lake City with 2. Of course, each team awarded an extra timeout at OT.
Lawrenson gets past Benson, takes it to the free throw line, kicks it out. And now he has it back. Way out high, center. Guarded there by Benson, picked away as he dribbled it, and Benson stole it. Down it goes to the block, shot up, and no good, blocked down there. Blocked by Wohlers. And a timeout taken by Lake City. 66-61, 53.9 seconds to go. Lake City with the lead. Hunter Lawrenson with 19 points in this game for Lake City. Guler fouled out, their leading player for Pelican Rapids towards the end of regulation. About 1.5 minutes to go. So he's on the bench with 18 points.
Yeah, it's a real tough situation to have one of your top players or your top player, your leader on the bench, and that's when you got to get the other guys stepping up. And only 1 point in overtime so far for Pelican Rapids. Down by 5, 66-61.
Fans are excited. Good crowd here in Target Center for both schools.
Yeah, and lots of orange everywhere and black, with that's being the school colors for both teams.
Yeah.
Minnehaha Academy won their game today, 63-47 over Pequot Lakes. So Minnehaha Academy, who was a state runner-up a year ago, moves into the semifinals to play Breck on Friday at 6 p.m. at Williams Arena. So Minnehaha Academy moves on. Breck beat Waseca earlier, 76-42. The winner of this game will play Albany on Friday at 8 p.m. Albany rallied from halftime deficit to beat Jackson County Central. Albany, the defending champs, and whoever wins this game will square off with them on Friday.
And the consolation games will be over at Concordia University in St. Paul. These teams all get to play again, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that there is a consolation round. Certainly, you come to state, you want to get in a couple of ball games.
Yep, get at least 2, everybody.
Yeah.
And Fick will check back in for Lake City.
Number 3.
So foul, I think, was on Charlie Larson, I believe.
Lawrenson, Hunter, kind of grimacing in pain and comes out of the game.
Right.
Sits down at the end of the bench here, and he looks like he's not feeling so great. Free throw, good for Jones. He's got 14 points and a 6-point lead now for Lake City. 67-61, 48 seconds to go. One more free throw here for Jones. Could give Lake City a 7-point lead, a 3-possession lead here potentially. And he makes it. 68-61. Torres flying down court with the basketball, picked up by Jones. Lake City, Pelican Rapids tries to get it in, tries to shoot the shot, Benson, and blocked. And Lake City basketball now with 33 seconds to go and a 7-point lead. And it looks pretty good for Lake City as Pelican Rapids kind of backed off on the defense. The shot clock was not off, so Lake City had to shoot. And a dunk by Fick as he puts it in. What a great game he's had. 3-point shot is no good for Torres. Rebound taken down, stolen away by Charlie Larson, but committing the foul as he does that. 11.8 seconds to go, 70-61. This is going to be a Lake City victory. It's really fun to see these kids, student sections, having so much fun.
Yeah. Yep, they're having a good time, the Lake City student section, more so than the Pelican Rapids student section right now.
I remember way back growing up in Iowa, girls and boys teams went to state, and it was just crazy how excited we were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, to have your teams go to state?
Yeah.
While you were at school, that's fantastic.
Rollers, free throw up and good, 71-61. And 11-1 overtime here so far in favor of Lake City. Make it 12-1. Second free throw good for Rollers. He's got 7 points and 4 rebounds in the game. And a long 3-point shot for Torres is no good. And now Lake City with the basketball. They'll just hang on to it till the clock runs out as it just did. An 11-point overtime win for Lake City. The Tigers beating the Pelican Rapids Vikings. And a great overtime period and a 12-1 score in the overtime period, Roy, for Lake City.
What a way to end the day. This is the final game of the day because Minnehaha Academy won earlier. So overtime to cap day 1 of the State Boys Basketball Tournament. A victory for Lake City. We'll take a break, Brad, and then come back for a couple of wrap-up notes on this first day of baseline-to-baseline coverage of the State Boys Basketball Tournament on the Mighty 920 KDHL.
Federated Mutual Insurance Company is passionate about the care and enrichment of the next generation. At the heart of our charitable focus is youth mentoring and our support of Big Brothers Big Sisters. We are proud of our employees who are currently volunteering to be a big brother, big sister, big couple, or a big family, and yet there are hundreds of children still waiting for a big. Ignite your year. Empower potential today. Consider this your personal invitation to learn more about Big Brothers Big Sisters. Together, we can make a difference.
The change in the seasons not only affect us, it also affects your vehicles. Hi, this is Ashley from the Owatonna Auto Clinic. When the temperatures drop, it affects tire pressures, battery functions, and temperature controls. Stop by for a checkup today. The Owatonna Auto Clinic will lab test your vehicle to make sure it has the right prescription to get you through the cold weather ahead. Drive with confidence with a little help from your friends at the Owatonna Auto Clinic at 902 Hoffman Drive in Owatonna.
Yet another exciting game here, exciting finish in overtime. Lake City taking over in overtime, and a 12-1 score for them in overtime leads to an 11-point win, 72-61. Wow, it's been fun today.
It's been very fun. Stewartville came out of the gate storming against Totino Grace to lead things off as far as games that we had for you here on KDHL. Mankato East out of the Big Nine kind of put a hurt on Chisago Lakes. Waseca from our region ended up with a tough matchup against top seed Breck. Fell in that game, and then this game here overtime. As far as referencing the 4 games that have been here on KDHL, to have the Lake City win in overtime in what was a tight game back and forth all of the way until a double-digit final score.
Yeah, really. It's quite an overtime period, 12-1.
Yeah.
And you kind of felt that coming. And with Guler out, fouled out, and Lake City at full strength and kind of gathering momentum as that game finished. They had been down 5 not too long before the end of that game.
Yeah, they were getting momentum. You hit it right on the head.
Yeah. And then you lose your best player like Pelican Rapids did. And it kind of wasn't too surprising how that overtime period went. Well, let's thank our sponsors again. H&R Block from Faribault, Owatonna, and Lakeville, Ackerman Accounting and Tax Service, Faribault Foods, Costco Wholesale of Owatonna, First United Bank, Amesbury Truth, Federated Mutual Insurance, and the Owatonna Auto Clinic. We thank you all. We couldn't be here without you, and appreciate it very much. It's been a lot of fun. In this last game, 19 points for Hunter Lorenzen for Lake City to lead the way, 14 for Ryan, 15 for Shones, 10 for Fick. And Fick's line also includes 16 rebounds. That's a really controlling, dominant stat. For Pelican Rapids, Guler with 18, 14 for Torres, 11 for Charlie Larson, and 9 for Garrett, what was his name? G. Larson, and Grady Larson.
Yep.
And that's kind of the top going on there for Pelican Rapids, who will go to the consolation round and will compete over at Concordia.
Well, it's been a great day 1. 3 more to go.
It sure has. Thank you, Roy.
All right. Thank you,
Brett. Fun being with you.
All right. Well, very good. Well, we'll send it back to the studios then. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great night, all, and we'll be back with you tomorrow morning for that 11 o'clock game in the Class A quarterfinals to lead off another big day. Good night.